I think that motion by themselves don't bite. They came here, they assure us they can secure the country, and like every speaker, one speaker after the other, we've all agreed that nothing much is changing. Resolutions will change this situation. We need to bring them back here. I limit myself to Army and Air Force because I don't think this is a problem of the Navy. I'm not also sure that the police that cannot protect our roads, as a result of which we have soldiers, that putting a barrack there will be enough. I just want to add that to show the seriousness of these hollow chambers, under your leadership, that we summon the Chief of Army Staff and the Chief of Defense Staff and the Chief of Air Staff and the IGP to tell us why we should not hold them responsible for these killings. If somebody spent 3 days in Plateau and he had the kind of information that Senator Nigi shared with us, and every other person, it shows that there was proper planning. You can't carry out that level of planning in secret and it doesn't leak. If civilians are aware, how come that those who are paid to secure are not aware? We need to let them know that we are paid, we are angry with them for failing in their duties. They need to know that each time in Nigeria is wasted, we owe the security agencies responsible. And there must be consequences on their part. Nigeria doesn't owe anybody a job. They owe us a duty to perform the job that they have asked for.
And I think when you face a challenge as serious as this, there is no point pretending. Distinguished colleagues, when this administration came on board, one of the initial steps that made this government very popular was a change in the leadership of the security system in this country. We all applauded Mr. Senate President that he had started well. And the service chiefs that came before the Senate appeared to be people that are capable of delivering on their mandates collectively. But 6 months down the road, distinguished colleagues, there appears to be no difference from what used to be the case in the preceding administration's tenure. I think there is need for us to call these service chiefs again. Distinguished colleagues, I also escaped death narrowly last few days when I went home for Christmas. I wanted to attend the burial of the mother of one of our traditional rulers in my local government headquarters. In the morning, I had prepared to go to my village. But then suddenly, I just had a change of mind, and I didn't go. Later in the day, there was an attack on Makudi Naka Road, and three persons were killed.
Well, from these two videos, one thing is very established, that these two senators, distinguished senators, are quite uncomfortable with the status quo. Though they have failed, I must establish that, to direct their attack to the presidency that has appointed these people or left them in their office without sacking even after these attacks, these embarrassing attacks on innocent Nigerians, harmless innocent Nigerians. They are trying to dance away from it. So, but I will still give it to them because at least they have shared an opinion. And that's why I would never make excuses for the Labour Party and all the other political parties members in the upper and lower chambers of the House of Assembly. No excuses for them. As much as it's okay to look into what is being called constituency project, the very first assignment of these guys being elected into the House is this purpose: making laws, making policies. Of course, government work to create the policies, but making laws, innovating ideas that could strengthen our systems, our institutions, our organs. That's what they say, our oversight functions. And so if their voices are not heard in causes like this, to be very bold and loud, and this time, because they are opposition, they can call out the president, because you will not expect Adam Oshiomhole to call out Tinubu. But with all he has said, it's very obvious that he's making it very clear that the presidency is not doing enough, right? And then that's one of my challenge with people when they say that the government is doing everything. You employ people, you read the riot act to them, you told them that if they don't work, you will deal with them, and now, or you will sack them, and now something like this has happened. Nobody's rushing before you to explain, nobody's resigning, and things are normal. After a couple of weeks, the same attack would happen again. And then it's normal. We hear currently that another letter has been sent to another community in the same state, and people are now running because they can no longer trust the defense mechanism of our security forces. And then somebody is seated and said he's commander-in-chief. That is my problem. And that's not what leadership that I was trained and taught entails. Leadership is resting all burdens of the people. That's a problem. Of course, I'll give it to Oshiomhole and his colleagues that have done their best to err in, right? I also want to call out the Labour Party and all other progressives, this time not in the party name, but in the mental structure of what the Nigerian citizenry would call progressives, right, as it were. And for the fact that we begin to, again, look at what the Bola Ahmed Tinubu government has for the people of the country. Nigerians are being killed, and you think it is not something serious enough that you should tackle and ensure that. I'm waiting for that time. And if Nigerians do not voluntarily resign from offices because of inability, inefficiency, inept, and incapability to delivering services that they have been appointed or elected to do, there should be an organ that fires people that can't get this job fixed. Or else all of you should get out. That is it. That's it. You heard them loud and clear. You heard them talking about the devastating effect and how well we have lost. But the DSS are after content creators who are calling out government. And you cannot go on and do fishing on this rubbish. How can people threaten to attack a community and they still did it? We hear all the kind of things where women were hiding it. And so they will spend hours. So the roads, the means of transportation that these bandits, these people use in penetrating these communities. So we do not have the kind of resources or facilities. We do not have the vehicles. We do not have the machinery. We do not have the men. The government can no longer protect its people. Then that's not the government. Protection first. Why some of us have grown enough to begin to ask for other levels, or maybe secondary levels, or maybe even primary, but not of social amenities. Yeah, of course, security, but not in this level like some communities in some of these villages are. Some of us are powerful, have grown enough, are rich enough to have to stay in environments where community have their own level of security, right? And at least it's efficient for the level, except bigger problems come. You've got water. So you're looking for other things, maybe power, steady power, good roads, and good policy businesses for businesses and small and medium scale enterprises. Some persons say, don't do anything, just secure our lives. Let us be able to farm and live in peace. And the government cannot provide that. That's what these guys are saying. Even if they are not calling Tinubu, they are saying directly that presidency should act faster than it is, or should be smarter than they are. They expect that for a government that came on, that got to power with an unpopular number of votes, they would be more proactive in dealing with problems like this. But yet, they are the ones see globetrotting and gallivanting everywhere. All hail Tinubu. Unfortunately, this one that told the world that he was going to become commander-in-chief, while Tinubu will become president and do the executive offices, he's sleeping because he's not being sent to go and do condolences everywhere. He's forgetting his duty. He's yet to. And sometimes when I see this kind of sight and hear this kind of stories, I just feel, what if it's someone close to me? What if it's somebody that is dear to me? You just go to a village and kill over 120 persons. And nobody is in jail. Nobody has been arrested. Nobody has resigned. And the life just continues. They are still making long-term speeches and making promises. Nobody has vowed. Nobody has folded his sleeves and said, I'm going there until we get the perpetrators of this evil. I will not sleep. And there are people who have been paid to influence for these guys, and they are actually influencing for them. And your conscience doesn't prick you to see, what am I doing? The other day, it was a mistaken attack. It's like we are too many in this country. You have to be taking out some persons. That's what it means. That's what it looks like. So you either use police brutality to take some, or kidnapping and armed banditry, or use mistaken attack, or you use this kind of unknown gunmen attack. And then you see the number of people that I was seeing the statistics that in 2023 alone, over 5,000 persons were killed for religious intolerance. That's people that were taken off from this world unalived because of Christians, so to speak. Over 5,000 Christians were killed for what they call blasphemy. Out of that 5,000, in short, over 5,000 of that, 90% of that were Nigerians. If I make this video pass like this, I will talk spoil. Let me go. Share this video, let it reach your hand. May God not punish you now. If I talk past like this, they will invite me for us to rock. Let me be out of here.
And I think when you face a challenge as serious as this, there is no point pretending. Distinguished colleagues, when this administration came on board, one of the initial steps that made this government very popular was a change in the leadership of the security system in this country. We all applauded Mr. Senate President that he had started well. And the service chiefs that came before the Senate appeared to be people that are capable of delivering on their mandates collectively. But 6 months down the road, distinguished colleagues, there appears to be no difference from what used to be the case in the preceding administration's tenure. I think there is need for us to call these service chiefs again. Distinguished colleagues, I also escaped death narrowly last few days when I went home for Christmas. I wanted to attend the burial of the mother of one of our traditional rulers in my local government headquarters. In the morning, I had prepared to go to my village. But then suddenly, I just had this change of mind, and I didn't go. Later in the day, there was an attack on Makudi-Naka Road, and three persons were killed. Several were attacked. If I traveled to my village on that day, today, I will not be here speaking in these hallowed chambers. So, we are all involved. I don't think there's any part of this country that is spared this problem of insecurity. If there is only one thing this administration will do differently from the previous administration, one will score the Tinubu administration 100%. I think there is need for us as a nation to carry out a national security summit. Let us sit down. We are told that these people are not Nigerians. But then, we have a duty to know where these people are coming from. In my own senatorial district, 3 local government areas out of 7 are already overrun.